Oh, okay, there we go. All right, so let's start that over. This is the chat. It's supposed to be YouTube's chat. I don't know if it's going to be working now. One of those things I can't really experiment with it unless I'm doing a live stream. I can, but I just wanted to show the chat as people, made comments. I wanted them to. Okay, Dog Karma, thank you. But I still don't see any chat showing up in that chat thing. All right, in my chat box there, I guess it's a chat box. So now I'm just going to have a big black box there. All right, well, that's what you get when you experiment with stuff during a live stream. That's where we're at. Bucky, what's up? Glad to see you here. Glad you could make it. I'm just experimenting with the I keep doing it backwards with the chat box here. That's not working. This is going to be an exciting episode. But anyway, let me go. I'm going to go ahead and delete that thing. It's not working. So let me get rid of that thing. Let's see. Wait, let me find this real quick. Y'all just have to bear with me. There we go. All right. Just want to get rid of that crap. It's not working. I'm going to have to figure out what the hell is going on. So anyway, it was a shot in the dark. I want to get the chat up there so y'all can see the chat, on your screen, so you don't have to look wherever you look on your phone for the chat. And I wanted it to be able to show the chat, after the video's been published and the live stream is over and somebody watches it 3 days later. I want them to be able to see the comments being made. So it's sometimes that stuff is a work in progress because I'm working with several different types of software, and trying to get them to play nice with each other is a pain in the ass sometimes. You can, the zombie, the chat that I had up there a minute ago, you could see it. Good morning, Shannon. Oh yeah, let me see this. For everyone who may have continued to watch through that, no Islam, no peace. Here is our let's see, QR code. That's the QR code for the what's that called? That thing that Discord. That's the QR code for Discord. Yeah, I haven't really used Discord very much. I might have played around with it a little bit a few years ago or whatever, trying to talk to my nephew or something. I don't know, but I downloaded it and got us a thing going and all that. So there's the QR code for the Discord channel if you want to get on there, or the server, or whatever they call it over there. I'll familiarize myself with it as we use it, but nobody's commented on there or anything yet, or had any conversation, so it's brand new. Feel free to get on there and join the discussion, create a discussion. I've got two different subjects, whatever, servers or whatever. One is just general conversation and the other one's nostalgia, I think. So I can add them as we go, add more conversations, more topics to the discussion there. But I figured two would get us started. No, all right. Well, I'll have to let's see. No, I did. Let me see. I can probably do that. This episode is jacked up anyway, so I've already messed it up, so I might as well just go ahead and get information out there to everybody. I just emailed the link to myself from my phone, so just trying to get my email to load up here, and of course it doesn't want to. Probably because I'm doing a live stream. I've never tried to open my browser during a live stream before. I usually don't do this kind of shit. But like I said, this is a kind of a weird episode anyway. I've already messed it all up with the chat box and all that. So, okay, so it's not doing it. Oh, there we go, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I got it. All right, let me post this in the chat. There we go. All right, how's that? How's that, zombie? Do you see that link in there? Rocker, what's up? Good morning, Rocker. There's the big old QR code for our new Discord conversation, and then so we can talk, outside these live streams and stuff. And let's see. And then I just posted the link in the comment section. Just another guy in the woods. Lake, good morning. Glad to see you here. Yeah, we fight Islam with bacon. Yeah. Bacon, ham. What are, no, I'm trying to think of pork rinds. Yeah. Oh, okay. Battlefield 6. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think I can afterward. They make me post a description before I do the live stream, Shannon. But I can try. Maybe I can get in there afterwards and add to it or something, and edit the description. Christopher, what's up? How's it going, man? Glad to see you here. Tripwire, what's going on? Here's, those of you who haven't heard yet, this big old thing right here next to me is the QR code for our Discord channel. Made a Gen Extinct's Discord channel as requested by Shannon. And so we can, extend the conversation outside the YouTube live type of stuff, that time frame. The live streams, we can continue the conversation on, and you can get on Discord whenever you want. So I think that'd be pretty cool. It's not something we have to do, but if we got a few minutes and want to check out what people are talking about on Discord, we can do that. Yeah, everyone loves bacon. Yeah, you're right, Rocker. The Borg, the Borg trip. So I was gonna go into all this stuff. Oh, let me get rid of that one. This, for those of you who just showed up, I'm trying to get this straightened out, so that we can see the conversation as y'all type it. So that was the point there. Of course, it's not working because it's just a black. Y'all can't see anything. This is just a black box, right? Y'all don't see your comments in that box, do you? I'm going to get rid of it anyway. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna do this once in a while just to make sure new people can see it. All right, zombies in the Discord, and I'm in there, of course. And like I said, it's just something, let me get rid of this one. All right. So, but anyway, so we can continue the conversation, We're not relegated to this little time frame here and trying to type into the YouTube chat for however long. I love these live streams. But Discord's a cool thing, We can throw our ideas down into. We got our own little, kind of chat room like we had back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And we can just, check on it whenever the hell we want. And so that's pretty cool. I like that idea. Make the Crusades great and permanent this time. Yeah, that shit. I see that shit like what's happening in New York and stuff. And I don't know. I'm just glad I'm at the ass end of my life. You know what I mean? Going, I'm on the downhill slide now. I'm on the way out the door. So these fools are going to destroy this place. In this place, I mean Western civilization. They're just, and I honestly can't believe it. It just baffles me. It boggles my mind how and I'm talking about the voters, the people who allowed this shit. Not the scumbag politicians who are doing it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I just hate them on principle for damn near everything they do. I don't know. I've never have any of y'all ever seen government solve a problem? You know, I never in my lifetime have I experienced it. Have they actually solved a problem? But you know, they're trying to do something with immigration now. They haven't solved the problem yet. You know, they're trying to hopefully end all this illegal immigration. But until they actually solve the problem, there's still, I haven't seen it. Yeah, Christopher. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Just, you know, these communists and socialists, you know, we were taught our entire lives, you know, that communists were the enemy. Now these fools are embracing this shit, and, you know, they allowed it to become, you know, part of our society and stuff. How do you have people up there, actually popular politicians up there promoting communism and shit in America and having a lot of support? It just blows my mind. It really does. Raziel, what's up, dude? We got a Discord channel, Raziel. Let's see, I'll post a link again. I'll post that link once in a while just to let new people in the chat be able to check it out if you want. Yeah, thanks, Trip. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. All your Islam immigrants. Yeah, that's what we need over here. Yeah, you see how Australia's screwing us over again. Sometimes they save us. Sometimes they save us from our own stupidity. Sometimes they take advantage of it. Oh, okay, cool, Raziel. All right, so people are gonna get on the Discord and continue the conversation. That's cool. That was a good idea then. I wish it was mine. Shannon gets the credit for that though. But yeah, that'll be cool. We'll be able to you know, talk outside of this forum here and extend the conversation a little bit. That'll be cool as shit. So yeah, everybody feel free to join the Discord server, and we'll carry the conversation over there in between the live streams, and we'll see what happens with that. There's you know, I want to do a lot of stuff with Gen X Thinks. It's just, you know, getting the time to devote to it. Just like that chat thing I had up here earlier, that big black box. That's supposed to be the chat with the scrolling messages that y'all put. Y'all's comments are supposed to be scrolling on there. I don't know why it didn't work, but I didn't have time. You know, I got back at like 7 o'clock last night. You know, you eat and you take a shower and stuff and go to bed and wake up this morning, you know, and then I've got a live stream at 5, and then I got to go back to work. And so you know, just having the time to figure that kind of stuff out. So a lot of this stuff is a work in progress, and it's tough though with live streams, because I'm, you know, I mean, if I'm doing it on a pre-recorded video, it's different. I can I can just pause it and tinker around, you know, look up the answer, you know, take 5 minutes and find it. But with live streams, you know, I just got to try it live and see if that shit works. Hopefully I don't look too foolish. But yeah, it is like dystopian or surreal just watching this shit, right? Watching this shit unfold in Western civilization. And I keep beating that drum, but it's cultural stuff. You know, these politicians, they want to take these issues and turn them into politics, and you know, because people are emotional about that shit, and they know that, and they play on people's emotions and get people thinking and making emotional decisions, and that is by design, in my opinion, 100% by design. And it's just wrong. You know, it's just wrong. There's so much that needs to be done, and you know, in every country across our civilization, our brothers and sisters in Australia, Norway, Greece, you know, all over the damn place. It's happening all over the place. And so it's hard to be optimistic about the future when you see this kind of shit. All right, Roxy woke you up. How do I feel about pre-existing injury aggravated by service? Well, I wouldn't. If they did a medical evaluation on you and said you were good to go, then the government accepts you the way you are. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to pass a physical test. I did when I joined. I had to pass a physical when I joined before they would let me enter. So they gave you a clean bill of health, at least said you were able to serve, so they accept you as you are and you're able to serve. You know, it's not like you know, your a pre-existing injury would prevent you from stopping a bullet. So and then you put into it all of these illegal immigrants getting funds and resources, taking all our tax money. Yeah, shit. I would take all of that money that we're giving to illegals for food stamps and healthcare and shit, and I put it in the VA for veterans. You know, and yeah, they should have to honor pre-existing injuries if they accepted you into the military. Obviously, they thought you were good enough to stop a bullet, but you're not good enough to support after your term of service is over. No, that's wrong. Yeah, it's wrong. We know it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you can die for us, but you know, when it comes time to pay you up, you had a pre-existing injury. We're gonna, here's about 40 miles of red tape you can wade through, and we're gonna fight you every step of the way. So yeah, no, that's bullshit. They need to pay up. That's what our tax money goes for, not for illegal immigrants living high on the hog with literally $10,000 on their EBT receipt. You know how many store clerks I've seen post receipts that the immigrant will just leave there. You know, they'll just walk out without their seat, and then the store clerk will look at it and see the remaining balance on that card is 10 grand. 20 grand on the cash one. Yeah, 20 grand. That's our tax money. They're robbing us to give these fools for just free shit, and then fighting veterans for their benefits that they were prepared to die for their country, and now they're fighting these just freeloading scumbags come over here, and our government just hands them money. Yeah. So that's how I feel about pre-existing conditions. I'd like to give politicians some pre-existing conditions. Why do you feel guilty? Because you're a human being, Christopher. You're not a corporate freaking sellout robot. You're not a slime bag politician. You're probably a regular person, dude. And, and shit like that makes us feel bad. Makes regular people feel guilty. You know what I'm saying? But these illegal immigrants don't feel guilty to come over here and rob us for 1,000,000 times what you would get with your pre-existing condition. They accepted you, dude. They gave you a clean bill of health. Right? So, if a tank had run you over or something, they wouldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? They wouldn't care. They would, So, yeah, screw that, dude. We shouldn't even be talking about that. Shouldn't even be an issue, a conversation. We should be talking about where all that money is going, not where it's not going, right? That's where it's not going is where it should be going. Where it's going is what we should be up in arms about. All this massive waste of our taxpayer money just kills me, dude. I wish Elon Musk would have stayed in there and carved out 90% of that federal government. The VPN is the Discord is hating your VPN, Shannon. Oh, okay. Nerve in your left foot, Christopher. Yeah, I mean, you were, like I said, dude, they thought you were perfectly healthy enough to stop a bullet. So I'm with you, dude. I would feel guilty too, but you got to do what you got to do, dude. If you completed your service honorably and you're having problems, then you deserve to be taken care of. I don't give a shit if it was pre-existing or not. Yeah, once the government okayed you, the military okayed you, and you signed your life away on that dotted line, they owned you. They literally owned you. They owned us for a while. So, yeah. The warranty doesn't run out on that shit. She's bossy zombie. Yara is. Yeah, we got Wiley. He's the boss around here. Yeah, they want you to feel guilty, Chris. Yeah, that's exactly what they want. Yeah, no, that's not even, well, yeah, just don't feel guilty, Chris. Just don't feel guilty. Hopefully, I pray, I hope and pray that they have to take some of that money from illegal immigrants and give it to you. I hope that's where they get that money to take care of you and your injury. I hope they take it out of those $10,000 SNAP accounts. That would be an answer to my prayers, dude. So don't feel guilty for a bit. That's what they want you to feel guilty. No, don't do it, dude. Don't let them. That's propaganda, programming. That's bullshit. We shouldn't feel guilty one bit for expecting them to honor their commitment. That's why Americans pay taxes. Is for that, not for some illegal immigrant to eat lobster and shit. Planet Xer, what's up, dude? Good to see you here, man. Oh, it's time. I'm gonna put the Discord thing in there. All right. I just put the Discord link in the chat again. If anybody wants to see the the QR code too. I can put that back up there for a minute if y'all rather do the QR code. Yeah, Raziel, it should have been capped, and it should have been capped at a time. You know what I mean? You should only be able to get that shit for 1 year or something. You know what I mean? That should not be a career. Period. End of story. That should not be a career. How the hell are we doing this? It just boggles my mind. So, it's horseshit, dude. We all know it's horseshit. They're robbing us, and that is straight up socialism, communism. They rob from the masses and give that money to other people who don't work for it, who don't deserve it. You know what I mean? I'm not some kind of super special guy or anything, but no one deserves my money more than me. No one. I work for it. I get up off the couch when I don't want to get up off the couch. I get in the van when my knee hurts and my back hurts, and I drive to work anyway, and I put in, 8, 10, 12 hours a day to support me and my family. No one else deserves that money. No one else got up off the couch and got in the van and went and did that. So, yeah, I'm trying not to cuss too much. That shit makes me mad. I almost dropped about 4 F-bombs right there. That shit, that's bullshit. Total bullshit. A single person, yeah. Yeah, that's a single person, yeah. But now, people literally make careers out of having kids. And then they, I've known them. I've known people like that. They just have kids, and that's what they do for a living. And then, they never get off of it. Until their last kid turns 18, their youngest kid turns 18. Then they, get sent down to the 349 range. Yeah, exactly, Raziel. None of us want to see people starve, but when we're giving SNAP benefits, way overdoing it, when an illegal immigrant has a SNAP balance of 10 grand, something is wrong. Something is wrong. When somebody on government assistance has, $300 fingernails and a $1,000 phone, something is wrong. We have SNAP to help people who are in distress, to aid people who need it, not to supplement high lifestyles. All right? I can't afford that shit, but I'm paying for it. And that's one of the reasons I can't afford it, is because these people are leeching off the system who don't need it. Able-bodied people who can get a job, and there are jobs now with this technology and shit. You can do a job from, you can do a lot of jobs laying down now, right? With the technology we have. You can computer program like this if you really wanted to, from home. So, you can do shit by voice now. You don't even need your arms and legs, a lot of it. So there's the reasons for them being unable to work are growing slimmer and slimmer, right? But the number of people getting on public assistance are getting larger and larger. So it's just gotten out of hand. It started out with good intentions, don't get me wrong, but it should have been a temporary crutch, not an entire lifestyle, not an entire career. That's bullshit, and it should never go to illegal immigrants. Immigrants, period. You don't come over here for any reason, legal or illegal, and get on benefits, or your ass can go back to Venezuela or wherever and get on benefits there. So no, just no. And the shit we're saying here is just plain common sense truth. You know what I'm saying? And no other country will allow it. I bet you, I mean, maybe in Western civilization they might be as messed up as us, but I bet you that I can't just fly over there to Australia and get on public assistance the next day, have a $10,000 balance in my Snap and just get free food and clothing and housing and cell phones and fingernails and shit. You know what I'm saying? I bet I can't just go to Australia and do that. But here in America, yeah, you can, as long as you're not American. Yeah, we've got hungry kids and veterans that really need our help. They need a leg up. But we're giving entire foundations and building houses around these immigrants, giving them entire lives, not just a leg up to create their own life. We're just giving them everything. And it's disgusting. Yeah, Raziel. Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. Yep. Balance of $0 and a ride to the nearest border in cuffs. Yeah. And that is too much. Right? Why the hell do we have to pay money to export these sons of bitches? That costs us money. That's not just free. All these plane rides back to El Salvador and shit. That's not free. We have to pay for it. That's our tax money at work. Well, you know, at least it's being used in the right way, you know, but still it pisses me off that they're even here and we have to pay to get them out of here. Yeah, but phone companies give out the phones for free through Lifeline, Shannon. Okay, but somebody has to pay for it. The phone companies aren't paying for it. The government is subsidizing that shit. The government is paying those phone companies. Remember they had those Obama phones? They called them Obama phones because Obama was doing that shit. It's the government subsidizing that shit. No corporation, none on the planet is just going to give out free shit. Period. They're corporations. They're soulless, greedy. No. I would bet my left arm on that. But I know for a fact that the government subsidizes those phones because of the whole Obama thing. They quit calling them Obama phones when Obama, lost the election. Or no, he didn't lose the election. He just quit. Or, his last term expired. They don't call them Obama phones anymore, or maybe they do in some places, but they're government subsidized. They're taxpayer funded. Yeah, Rocker. Yeah, just unbelievable balances on these accounts. It's just disgusting. AF, hey AF, haven't seen you in a while. Oh. Yeah, I've done that before, AF. I can sympathize. Oh, okay. Yeah, Raziel, that'd be tempting. Except that other countries are as bad or worse than we are. They're patriots in Australia, patriots in England, patriots in Germany. They're trying to hold their civilization and their culture together just like we are. Yeah, that's good, Shannon. I'm for stuff that helps the kids. You know what I mean? Now, there should not be an illegal kid in the school sucking our resources out. He should be getting free, a free lunch in a school in Colombia, not here in America. But they say, you hear that shit, America first, and all that shit. Okay, But that's talking the talk. I want to see them walk the walk. You know what I'm saying? I'm America first, and and I'm talking about Americans, not the American government first, not the American financial institutions first, not the American corporations first, the American people first. That's America. That's America first. So, yeah. I'm for that. I'm for things, for kids, laws to protect children, laws to protect animals, even laws that are, victimless crimes. Yeah, a kid should be in a child, what are those, car seats? Kids can get free lunch. Okay, I'll pay taxes for that. I shouldn't be paying taxes for anything. Kids should be getting free lunch. The government should pay for it them damn selves. But, I can't condemn, kids getting free lunch. But I can condemn us handing out our taxpayer money to just immigrants pouring in over our borders around the world. It's one thing to have them come over here and work and shit, but then to rob us and give it to them, that's just wrong. Oh, okay. I offered you a free liver transplant, huh? All right, hell. Portugal and Switzerland, maybe, I don't know. I'd have to do the research on those countries before I moved over there. Oh, yeah, no, hell no, Christopher. Yeah, we don't crack the top 20 in best educated countries. And the sad thing is, we used to be number one. Number one. We were tied, battling out with Japan for the highest educated, smartest people on the planet. Now we're like number 40. And it started when the federal government took over the education system. The next year we were, Japan was just winning hands down. 5 years later, we're like number 5. It's gone down one notch a year since they took over 40 years ago. Now we're 40th. Yeah, it's insane. But the federal government says they're going to fix shit, just like they did the education system. Yeah, the Department of Indoctrination, zombie, hell yeah. Exactly. Oh, all right, Christopher. Yeah, well, I went through the education system, public education, and it was decent back then. In the 70s and 80s, it was decent. I'm more pissed off about now. I'm more pissed off about what they didn't teach me. That the Federal Reserve is a privately owned institution and they're not part of our government, got nothing to do with our government. All this stuff. Why are they running our country then? All this stuff they didn't teach me. They failed to give me knowledge on the important things that are going on. They taught me, all kinds of bullshit that I never used again in my life. But it's what they didn't teach me. Nowadays, at least back then, we didn't have, teachers teaching us, their philosophies on politics and gender and all this other shit and sexuality. We didn't have them indoctrinating, just straight out indoctrinating us with that shit. That was good. And we didn't have all this bullshit about, kids don't have to pass tests and all that shit anymore. Just let them slide through the education system. Back then we had to pass tests. We had to actually learn some shit. Whether it was useful or not, that was anybody's guess. But yeah, I don't have too much to complain about the education system back when I was a kid, except for what they didn't teach me. Oh, pin it in the chat. Let me try. Let me see if I can do that. Okay. Oh, okay, yep, pin message. There we go. All right. Is that better? How's that, zombie? Okay. Yeah, yeah, talk with song lyrics. Yeah, I bet we could, dude. Yeah. What, reduce the cost of internet for low-income households? Trying to. Oh, okay. New York has reduced the cost of internet for low-income households. Yeah, I mean, that's great. I mean, that is great. For low-income households, that's great. It's just so many people are playing the system, and we need to go back a step before that and get all the players out of that group of low-income households. How many of those low-income households actually need the assistance? You know what I'm saying? Number one. Number two, these multi-trillion dollar companies, it shouldn't be charging that much in the first damn place. It's ridiculous. It's not like they're producing a product every day. You know what I mean? They're sending out a signal. Once they get that thing to send out, they have to do the infrastructure. I know they have to lay the lines and all that shit. But how long did it take them to pay for them? How are they profit? How are they making $2-3 billion a year profit? We're just being gouged with these prices, and and I'm not really sure that that's debatable. We're being gouged. When you look at the profit margins for these companies, it's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous. Just like, okay, a movie made back in 1979, let's say it cost them $100 million to make the movie. All right. Now it goes to the box office. It makes $200 million. It doubled its money. The movie is a success. They profited from it. Now, fast forward, 40 years later, 40 some odd years later, and that movie is sitting up on Google's server, a copy of it, and they want $15 for that bitch. Just for you to download a copy. No physical movie, nothing physically is done. They're just sending a signal over the line, and your computer writes that code down. They want $15 for that shit. All right, and multiply that times millions of people downloading movies and doing that shit. There's no way. Those things, it probably cost Google like, 0.03 of a cent to send you that movie, right? That's it. And all the rest of that is profit to them. So these companies are gouging us, and I remember when Google first started, selling movies on their Play Store, and you could get a movie for $1.99. Expensive movies were $5, maybe the new movie coming out was probably $10, but most of them were between $1.99 and $4.99, somewhere in there. And now it's ballooned up to, it's $15 for just the average movie and $25 for a new release. And you're going to tell me that the cost to transmit that information over a wire has increased that much. Now, I know it hasn't. We all know it hasn't. They're just gouging us because they can. And that's the same thing with that. That company could yeah, whatever, Comcast or whatever, could offer low income houses, low income families $20 internet, but they don't. It's government subsidized. Taxpayers are paying for that shit because those companies don't give a shit. Bucky Barnes, the Captain America's sidekick zombie. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, zombie. And that's the thing about gun control. It's the cities with the tightest gun control that have the most crime. It's crazy. And people still fall for it. People still, like the average dude just, going to work and hunting a couple times a year like he's the threat to society. Oh, okay. Zombie. I've never really done Discord, to be honest. This will be the first time I've really actively, spent any time with it. I've probably downloaded the app and goofed with it a little bit. I have with most of those apps, but at some point or another, but never really got into Discord too much. I will now, though, as much as time permits. Yeah, $131 a month. Planet X. Yeah, that's about what I pay, somewhere around in there. A little over $100 a month for internet service. And I mean, in the real world, literally, what are they providing? You know what I'm saying? They cut that shit off. You have nothing. Nothing to show for all that money. Let's just say it's $100 a month to make the math easy. That's $1,200 a year. You have internet for a year. What have they provided you? What do you have? If they cut that shit off after a year, you look around your house, what do you have to show for that $1,200? Right? It's a scam, dude. I'm just saying the prices are insane, and not because they have to be insane, just because that's what people will pay. If all of us just said, no, we'll do without internet until you bring your damn prices down, they'd bring the prices down. They wouldn't just fold their business up and go out of business. Because, some profits are better than none, but we won't do that as a whole. Me and you might, but two people aren't going to do shit. Two people aren't going to, they're not even going to notice that. It'll take a lot of us. But yeah, but that's why, because we accept it, that's why yeah, Shannon, well, exactly. Yeah, that is not surprising that your state taxes keep getting funneled to New York City. Yeah, and a lot of people, you've probably heard me talk about it like New York. I'm talking about New York City, not New York State. You know what I'm saying? And everybody does that. They talk about New York, and they mean New York City. There's a lot of good people out in the country in New York State that have nothing to do with that crazy shit. But they get lumped in just because, people are too lazy to say city. And I'm one of them. I'll say New York, and I'm talking about the city many times. Or call New Yorkers, I mean people from New York City, not necessarily everyone in the state when I talk about New Yorkers. So that's one of the crazy things. Executable file. AF, I missed something there. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can reduce your taxes, but find out which choose which park we need to close. Yeah. Well, here in Florida, they're talking about doing away with property tax completely throughout the state, which would be awesome. You know what I mean? That'd be great for people that are, want to buy property or own property, because some people, bought a piece of property for 30 grand back in 1980 or whatever, and now they say that their property, because it goes by current value. So even though that person might have had a limited income this whole time, and now they're on Social Security, whatever, but now their property taxes have ballooned to some enormous amount, because now everyone says that the land they own is worth $500,000. So and then the government just takes their land. No, I don't. No, the government taking land away from you, taking any of your property away from you because you didn't pay them rent on it. No, that is disgusting. I don't care what has to happen for that shit to shut down. People are crying, oh, we need our legislature and shit. These politicians here in Florida are crying against that, abolishing income tax, because they need the money for public, all this public shit, and for the roads and stuff. And our roads are a disaster. They've been getting that land tax money for decades, and they haven't done shit with it. All our stuff is a wreck. You know what I mean? Where is this nirvana that all of this tax money has gone to create? Where is it? Where is all this tax money being spent? Is what I want to know. It's bullshit. It's going to illegal immigrants. It's going to pad politicians, crooked politicians' bank accounts. It's going to fund bullshit, crooked contractors. The buddies of politicians who kick them a little bit. Oh, if you let me work on this road for 20 years, I'll kick you. We have a road here called I-4, and it has literally been under construction for 20 years. Yeah, not a day has gone by that it hasn't been under construction. It's just a nightmare. You'll sit in traffic there for 2 hours. You know what I mean? But our state taxes are paying for that delay and that bullshit. But those people who own that equipment's sitting out there doing nothing, they're getting rich, and their politician buddy, they're kicking them some cash underneath to keep getting these big fat contracts. They're getting rich, but it's us who pay. We pay for it with our tax dollars, and we pay for it sitting in this horrible damn traffic. It's disgusting. They just need to end that shit, and we'll work it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, I wish, at least then there would be some justification for robbing the people. You know what I mean? If they actually did something with the money, like Raziel says they do in Wisconsin. Yeah, a $40 million football stadium. Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah, here in Florida, they will take your shit, they will take your property in a heartbeat if you don't pay your taxes. And it's basically rent. You buy it. Dead Wolf, what's up, dude? Glad to see you here, man. Join us on our Discord conversation, dude. If you're a Discord kind of guy. I'd like to see you there, dude. Yeah. Oh, all right. Had to rent out the universities in town. All right, AF. Oh, good, Raziel. Because I've heard horror stories the opposite way, where people just lose their homes because some moronic judge, would just make a bad decision, and you lose your home. Yeah, I've heard horror stories like that, dude. That's insane. And I saw this. Oh, okay. At least it should be something like this. Your first home, the one that you live in, okay, your domicile should be completely tax-free. Completely, you just own it. No one can take it from you until the day you die, right? Now, if you want to own a bunch of extra homes, some rentals and shit, tax the shit out of them. Tax them. Okay. If I want to own a rental home, well, I'm going to have to pay some taxes on that. I can choose that. Well, maybe I'll invest my money somewhere else. But I need a home. I don't have a choice, right? I need a place to live. I don't have a choice. So them robbing me when I don't have a choice, and businesses and stuff like that, tax them, right? Tax them. Tax commercial property. The farmland should not be taxed. Your homestead, your domicile should not be taxed. That kind of shit. But all of this money making stuff, if you have investment properties or a corporation buys some property, something like that, tax the shit out of it. Go ahead. Feel free. That kind of stuff. But when you're forced to, and that's the thing with that's the same principle with tariffs. Oh, they're gonna raise the price of Chinese goods. Well, you have a choice there. Don't buy Chinese shit. Don't buy it. Do you really need that cheap piece of Chinese plastic? Do you really? Just don't buy it. You have a choice. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at with that. When they tax us and we have no choice. They just take it right out of our income, not giving us a choice. No. Sales taxes, okay. I'll make my own shit. If sales taxes are by voluntary. Because you can grow your own food. So it's voluntary. But when they just go in there and take it out of your income, that's not voluntary, that's theft. There's no other way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Yeah, and their main home, their main home should not be taxed at all, in my opinion. If they want to have more, if they want to buy 3 or 4 more, well, tax them. Tax those, because that's a choice they make. They can't make a choice about to have a home. You know what I mean? People need homes. So, yeah. Oh, all right. Well, that's smart. Yeah. I mean, any way that a person can get around that shit, taxation and stuff, I support it. Yeah. Yeah, Raziel. Yeah. They can go piss up a rope, dude. They want free money. And we're being taxed. Our land, our income is being taxed so it can be given to these foreign invaders who are coming over here, taking our jobs, taking our tax money, lowering our wages. Not only are they taking jobs from us, but with the jobs we can get, we're getting paid less because these people will work for less. So we have to go down, lower our wages to meet them, or we don't work. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. And these politicians and shit are allowing it. And these corporations are supporting it because they make more money. They make more money. So hell yeah, they're going to support it, right? I make more money? Hell yeah, I want more money. So, screw the common man, Joe Blow down there scraping by, trying to get ahead, trying to get some of the stress off his shoulders to, trying to pay the mortgage and this insanely high internet fee because his kids, can't do without the internet, and grocery prices are skyrocketing. Screw that dude. You know what I mean? He's not going to vote for me probably. So, it's insane. Oh, that's good, Raziel. Do you pay land taxes on that, though? Does the government take land taxes? Yeah, holy shit. Yep, city keeps pushing out AF. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe it, Christopher. And they shouldn't. We can take all of that money that we're giving to illegal immigrants and build shelters for veterans. If you want to go stay there, all you need to do is, show your DD 214 and you've got a place to stay. For 3 months or whatever, put a time limit on it. Get them some mental health, give them a mental health checkup, a physical, get them whatever help they need, get them back on their feet. And but we're too busy padding Snap accounts for Pakistanis and shit. I just get so disgusted when I look at that. What's actually going down. Yeah, dead wolf. Yeah, here in Florida, almost all of this construction is done by illegal immigrants. They get paid $10-15 an hour or whatever, and they all cram together in a single wide trailer, sleeping on the floor and shit. And they just lower the wages. I could walk onto a construction site right now, tell them I have experience and shit, and they'll offer me, $12-13 an hour. You know what I mean? Something like that. I cannot support a family on that shit. And they don't give a shit if I say no and walk away because they know that a bus full of illegals is coming tomorrow. So they don't give a shit. And what is it? Is it gonna? Is that construction company gonna fold up because they were forced to pay a living wage to American workers? And I don't give a shit if you're Hispanic or black or white or whatever. American. Just Americans with American culture and American values and American. Paying taxes. So, no. The company wouldn't fold up. They would just make slightly less profits next year. They wouldn't make as much profit. You tell me these huge corporations, Del Monte and what's that, Tyson Chicken and all that shit, they can't afford to pay a living wage to American workers. They've got to pay less than minimum wage to illegals, or they would just go bankrupt. Yeah, you're not going to get me to believe that. That's bullshit. They're robbing us in so many different ways. It's insane. And creating all this inflation. That's just another form of taxation, another form of robbery. Yeah. Yeah, the North Dakota farmers hiring them. Yeah. And some of those, sometimes small businesses, farmers and stuff, we get stuck. It's an entire circle, okay? Del Monte doesn't want to pay the farmers either, right? They have to sell their corn or whatever to Del Monte, let's say. Well, Del Monte, keeps the prices low on that shit too. And then the people are jacked up. The common person, a mechanic, okay, he can't go spend $5 a can on corn because he's making the minimum amount that he can to survive because of all the illegal immigrants who are mechanics. I needed a used tire the other day, and first place I called, it was some mom and pop place, advertised, and Florida's home tires, good family place and stuff, so I called them because I want to support local shit, and dude answered the phone. He couldn't even hardly speak English. Blah, 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 whatever. What the hell? I expected a southern accent, some gal answering the phone, and with a southern accent, hometown, Florida, this and that. Dude couldn't even speak English. So anyway, but it's an entire circle, right? The mechanic can't afford to pay a higher price for the corn because he is fighting with illegals for his wages. And he can't afford to buy a house because he's fighting with illegals for his wages. So all that shit just keeps our income down. Because we keep sending all our money over to China. And we can't earn a decent wage because of all this illegal immigration and this cheap-ass labor flooded into our country. And everybody wants to point at, oh, well, all they do is clean toilets and pick crops and shit. No. They build everything. Everything here is built by illegal immigrants, and they don't give a shit. It's all shoddy craftsmanship. Mechanics, all these jobs are immigrants or illegal immigrants, whatever it does. At this point in time, when you're talking about finances and how much money we're making and stuff, it doesn't matter whether they're illegal or legal anymore. We're getting screwed. All right. Well, it's time to shut her down. I enjoyed our conversation here. Let's continue it over on Discord. All right. And tonight we'll have, I think I'm going to go ahead and push the nighttime episode back to 8 o'clock Eastern time. Just because like last night I didn't get home until 7, and I don't want to be starting it at 7:30, 7:15, 7 o'clock sometimes. I want to set a time that I know I'll be able to be here. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and change it to 8 o'clock, the evening shows to 8 o'clock. I know that might suck for a few people on the East Coast, but it shouldn't bother anybody else. Like, I think Shannon's in New York, and there are a few others who are on the Eastern time like me. I'm not sure when y'all go to bed and stuff, but just for continuity, and for my peace of mind, because it really bothers me to start late and to be late. It's just another stressful thing for me. So, oh yeah, Christopher, me too. I love that full moon. I saw it. What was it, last night or yesterday morning? With the clouds were over it. It looked just like a scene out of a Halloween thing. It was awesome. I love the full moon. It's beautiful. So I agree with you. But yeah, I'm going to start doing our evening episodes at 8 Eastern time. All sleep is for chumps. Yeah, Shannon. Oliver Rust, what's up, dude? But yeah, let's do that. I'll put up a new schedule. I'll just change all the 7 p.m.s to 8 p.m.s. Only 2 of them a week, so yeah, I think I'm gonna make that change. All right, everybody. As I said, feel free to join us on Discord. I'll see about putting that link in the description for the people who aren't in the live stream right now. and if you don't have the QR code that I showed earlier. So, but I'll see about doing that. All right. Okay, and I'll leave you there with that. As always, stay frosty, Gen X, and I'll see you on the next one.